this place is the beginning of where I lost my sense of self and where I became my appearance. So this is a day in the life of a person who has body dysmorphic disorder. So at the depths of my pain and when I was really symptomatic with body dysmorphic disorder, this device was my enemy. This is, to anybody else, just a normal mirror, a decorative mirror. To me, this was my barometer of how I saw myself and whether or not I could function and go out into the world. So I would step close. Now, if this was in a bathroom, I would probably sit on it. And I would zoom in and I would look and I would go all the way around and I would get stuck. And I would look at different aspects of my face and just feel so repulsive and so disgusting that I just at that point would come right back out and then feel the need to go right back in and do the same thing of scanning and looking, and then in my mind, like, what am I going to do to change these aspects of my face, and how am I going to be able to go through the day, and how am I going to be able to go to work? I'm not able to like see myself. It's like a distorted view of yourself. And like I said, to this day, this is not, I don't really focus on the mirror. I can't focus on the mirror. I'll lose everything if this is my life. I just can't speak volumes to that if I focus on what I look like, I could lose my life. Not just my day-to-day life. I could lose my life. It could take me out. And I'm not willing to go there. So I've accepted that I don't know what I look like. It sucks. It's not fair. I wish I didn't have this. But I also understand to try to figure out what it is that I look like, I could lose everything. Okay, so we are gonna go back to where I was bullied. We're gonna go back to the scene of the crime. This was in 7th grade when I was bullied by my friend group. So I'm gonna take you back to the field where everything went down every day after lunch. When I was struggling I also got into compulsion, so we'll just stop for a second. So I would look in the mirror, which then that could really throw me off because I'm supposed to go somewhere. So if I didn't like what I saw, then that was definitely not gonna be a good idea. And then looking in my rear view mirror. So some people, I tried very hard not to do it, would like go like this. And obviously when you're driving, it's very dangerous to be looking at the mirror. So, you know, I try now really not to necessarily check the mirror before I go anywhere, but definitely mirrors are always around. I probably had signs of this disorder since I was probably 9 or 10 years old. It started with bullying, and then it escalated to the point where I felt that I just was not good enough, and I felt ugly and disgusting, and I couldn't go back to my first semester of senior year in college. And it took 2 years or 3 years until then to get the right diagnosis of having body dysmorphic disorder, of having a disorder where I finally understood that I am not able to see my appearance, that I don't know what it is that I see, but that I struggle with intrusive thoughts about what it is that I see. And I engage in compulsions to try to reassure myself or avoid things because I'm uncomfortable. You know, thinking about it now, it's just so interesting how, I mean, obviously I'm 41, but how those situations that happened kind of made such an impact on my life, and defined me as a human being, and you know, giving that power to it. And I actively try every day to, you know, to take back my power to something that I felt took it away. So we're coming up to the right. This is my middle school. It's funny, I've driven by it so many times, and I try to, from like a therapist perspective, to just undo kind of the damage that this experience has done for me, because I think it is such a direct correlation to what my BDD became for me. I had a group of friends that went to ice skating lessons and didn't include me. And that was the same time they made fun of my hair. So my actual fear with BDD was people wouldn't want to be around me. And that's actually what happened to me when I was in 7th grade. So right by the corner of the tennis courts over there, every day after lunch, we would all walk out and I would be with my group of girlfriends and they would say, let's all sit in a circle and play Duck, Duck, Goose. Who plays Duck, Duck, Goose when you're 12 years old? But this is their way of torturing me. This is their way of bullying me. And so they made fun of my hair. They called me bush, shrub, and fro. And they would say, today we're gonna have the topic be nature or the forest. And they would sit us around in 8 girls of people and they would go duck, duck, or whatever. And then they would go to me and they would go bush. And I was like, run around and catch, like, obviously, it still has an impact on me. And these are things that I try to let go of. Because not everyone that's bullied lets it define them. And obviously knowing what disorder I ended up getting and knowing that sitting on a green grass was gonna ultimately become the pathway to a disorder that was gonna take so much of my life. You can't help but sometimes be angry because you can't help but sometimes think, would this have happened to me if this didn't happen? I don't have the answer. I know that there's a biological component. I know that I was predisposed to this, but being bullied for how I looked, being excluded and excluded from things because of what I looked like is exactly how I felt in the depths of my disorder. And so this place is the beginning of where I lost my sense of self and where I became my appearance and where I lost my innocence, my ability to be okay with myself, my ability to feel like I was enough. And I strive in each and every day to become that. And it's not easy. It's not easy when at 9 years old to 12 years old, you were told that you are different. You were told that you don't belong. But I forgive the people that did it, and I forgive myself for tolerating it. And I can only hope and tell people that don't let your past, like, you can fight for your life, and you don't have to be a victim of things that have hurt you. And mental health issues isn't something that you have to be ashamed of. It's something that everybody deals with. And I'm not ashamed, and I'm no longer gonna hide behind anything. I'm gonna speak about what it is that I have, because I don't want people to feel the way I felt, and I don't want people to feel alone in their struggle with body dysmorphic disorder, because you can live. And I hope that I can show that I'm an example of that. I am not a perfect human being. I do have struggles, but it doesn't take me out the way it did, and I don't need to be that little girl anymore. And I let her go because it doesn't serve me anymore. We all have, whatever we're dealing with, we all have to somehow accept it. I accept what has happened to me. I cannot be angry at it. I cannot be angry at the years that I've lost to this disease. I cannot be angry at, I am so blessed and I'm so fortunate. I am a mother. I am an amazing therapist that I give back to my clients each and every day. And I do feel like I am a good citizen, and I give back to the community, and I advocate, and I provide, educational information for the International OCD Foundation, and I do feel like I give back. You would have asked me what defined me 15, 20 years ago. It was my skin. That was it. It was my appearance. Who is Robyn? Robyn is skin. That's not me anymore. But it's taken a lot to get there.